And here he is.
There he is. There we go.
And we are live, Robert.
Good morning. I call to order the Design Review Board for March 2nd, 2021. The first item are the minutes of February 16, 2021, which were previously distributed. Do we have any questions or corrections? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make
Do I have a motion? Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Okay. The next item is the Historic District on the Hunting Hospitality LLC at 94 Main Street. Is the applicant present?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Good morning.
Good
Brian,
morning. How are you today?
good. How are you?
Good.
Brian Chester, 2462 Main Street, Suite
Yes.
7, Hampton, New York.
Yes. Can you describe the project, please?
Yes, so we're in the process of proposing some additions and upgrades to the building at 94 Main Street, commonly known in the village as the Palm Restaurant. Those upgrades would include, and I have the project architect here as well for specific questions, a seasonal porch area in the rear of the building, as well as the addition of an elevator shaft to accommodate ADA compliance to the rooms, as well as a patio area and a small pool area, all to the east and south, so the rear of the building at this time. We've filed an application just procedurally, so the board's aware, with the Zoning Board of Appeals, which would be required to forward this project. But part of the village code requires a preliminary review and comment from the Design Review Board. We've provided to this board elevations of those proposed changes and additions, a landscape plan, a planting plan, and a materials list for your review that were submitted as part of this application. I would be happy to screen share to walk the board, through where those are, if there are specific questions, or however you'd like to take this from here.
Do we have any questions, board members? Bob Hefner, are you here? Are you with us?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here.
Hello.
So the first.
Good morning.
Good morning. My first comment would be in regards to the shed. When we had our site meeting there, there was a garden shed that was proposed to be removed, and going inside, we found it had a timber frame. So they have decided to relocate the shed out of the work area to the back of the property. So that's a positive development. And my only comment on the proposed plans relates to the concrete wall, the 8-inch block concrete wall between the swimming pool and the neighbor to the south. And it looks like that's still under design. There's no information on how high it is, whether it's clad on both sides, nor is the setback from the property given. I think that's an element that could impact the setting of the neighboring house. So that's one element that I think the board should look at closely.
Okay. Any other questions? Billy Hayjack, are you with us here today? Billy?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Yes.
Good morning.
Billy Hayjack, I'm here. So I have no preliminary comments at this time or questions. If I think it would be a good idea to ask the applicant's representative to walk through the project and explain
that's what I'm going to do.
And explain
Yes.
the details of what's being proposed.
Perfect. The architect, can you take the board through the various stages here of the plan, please? Thank you.
I think you're muted, Daniel.
Oh,
Hello?
Yes, we hear you now.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Do you want me to share my screen? Should I do this verbally? I think
I
maybe.
think the screen share would be the best, if it's
yeah,
the board.
absolutely.
Okay, give me one moment. Let's pull this one. So I'm assuming, okay, there we go. This is the site plan. Let me talk you through very quickly. The historic shed that was just mentioned, we're relocating it a little bit further off to the back of the lot. The main facade or the main frontage is on Main Street. Hunting Lane is a little bit quieter, but still the historic nature of the building comes through, both of those points, both from Main Street as well as from Hunting Lane. Let me see if I can find the, let me pull up the existing very quickly. Right here is the existing site, the shed. I don't know if
Yes.
there's a lag, if you can see the screen. This is the current location of the shed. There's a small brick patio with some outdoor furnishings, and that's along, I don't know the name of the side street, that's parallel to Hunting Lane, but that's along that residential street, which is to the west, I believe. Brian, that's working west. The main frontage, again, is coming along Main and Hunting Lane. There's no changes to the frontage of the building on Main Street. There's no changes to the frontage of the building on Hunting Lane. The existing building, it's a 3-story wood frame building with a small yard, which is fenced in, which is where the mechanicals for the kitchen, for the restaurant are located. The proposed, let me get through this. So again, the proposed plan includes a pool, which is adjacent to the rear yard line of the adjacent properties. Some planted screening along Main Street. Again, no change to the rear yard. We are including a small vestibule, which would be basically serve as an ADA entrance to the building. Currently, there is no accessibility to the building, if I'm not mistaken. All of the other entrances have small steps and stairs. It's 2 or 3 stairs. They're all in keeping with the historic nature of the building, but none of them really allow for accessibility. We're proposing two parking spots dedicated to ADA, which are in the existing lot. I don't believe there's a change to the lot. Within that, we will have an accessible route, a small ramp on the back with the seasonal patio, then the elevator, the new elevator, and the vestibule. And that's the extent of the structural or the building changes. In addition to that, we're proposing a pool and some small cabanas. And I believe the wall that we're talking about is to screen the pool area from the adjacent neighbors, both in terms of visual discretion as well as from noise. If I can pull up very quickly, these are the landscaping plans that were submitted with this. So you have the pool deck, the screening over here, the lawn. This takes the place of an existing brick patio. And that's largely the extent of the plans. As you can see, there's very little, if anything, planned for either Main or Hunting Lane. This is primarily, an area which would be considered sort of a side or a rear yard to the building.
If Daniel, if you could just pull up the that elevation so they could see the elevator shaft and the seasonal patio in design.
Sure.
For the board.
Let's go through here. So these are the existing elevations. No changes to these. Those are this is Main Street elevation. There's a large porch. This is sort of the main front entrance of the building. And then this is the side elevation along Hunting Lane. No changes to either of those elevations. Where we are looking at this is sort of an interior courtyard, if you will. There's a small porch coming off the kitchen. And then this is the proposed patio. We have the ramp coming up to the far right. It's an enclosed porch, and this takes the place of where this little this porch is. We would have the enclosed patio with some outdoor dining. And this right here, this vertical piece is the new elevator shaft. We're assuming it would be masonry construction with wood clapboard siding to match the 8-inch clapboard siding, which is currently on the building. This is again, sorry.
Are there any
If
questions?
anybody has any,
Yeah, please.
yeah, I apologize. I'm monologuing this. If there are any questions as we go through, please stop me, and I'll be happy to cover what I can.
With the elevator shaft and the new windows that will be going in there, will those windows, they'll be matching the existing windows and the trim? There'll be no change
Yes.
to that design?
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
correct.
this
It'll be replicated to match what the existing windows are throughout the rest of the building.
Right.
To the extent we can, when we're done, this will be a 300-year-old elevator. But that's the intent. This is the elevator shaft. We looked at it's a Lula. We looked at the floor-to-floor height on the overrun, and it should be able to keep it within the overall height of the building. So I don't believe it'll be any higher than the existing roof.
So there'll be no, from Huntington Lane and from Main Street, you won't see the shaft of the elevator, or it won't change the streetscape on either of those roadways, from either of those roadways.
And if you take a look, sorry.
Hold on one second, Dan. I think there was a question.
Go ahead. Go. You could continue.
Okay, so, and this is again from the inside courtyard. This is, you're looking at a rendering of the elevator shaft. This is the porch, again, in keeping with the style of the building. And this is sort of the new parking lot entrance, if you will. You see the ramp coming up on the right-hand side. And these are some of the renderings for the cabanas out at the pool.
And basically, the swimming pool will sort of be, you will not see it from the driveway or from the side of the building, either side. It'll basically be shrubberies that will sort of hide the swimming pool.
That's correct. It's
Yes.
fully
Yeah.
screened from,
It's screened.
yes. So on the left of the screen there, it would be where Main Street is. So you'll see there's 2 rows of screening. On the western side, where the residential lots are, is full screening along with that wall. And from the parking lot side, there's screening and the cabanas. So from any vantage point, aside from inside the building or on that porch, you're not able to see the pool area.
Yeah, you're a good deal. I think you're over 100 feet in from Main.
And the side setback from the neighbor, that wall is further outside of the setback?
It does. That does require relief from the zoning board, which is currently pending.
And the pool is at 20, or the pool is, the setback was
Pool is
supposed to be-
beyond. Sorry?
The setback is normally 50 and the pool is at 20? Is that?
It's part of the application for relief. It's in the transitional side yard from residential to the use at the Palm.
Have you already gone in front of the zoning board?
We have not. The
Oh.
code requires we come here first for
Right.
a review before we're able to appear before the zoning board.
Will the plantings, I'm sorry, you want to describe some of the plantings?
I'm going to have a hard time with that. I believe I can't.
Oh,
I mean, I can tell you what's on the plan, but I don't think I can. The intent is obviously to screen it and to close
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah.
so we're basically talking about evergreen type trees or trees that are not deciduous. Is that it? Bushes, trees
Let's take a
for the
look.
winter?
That is
They
correct.
appear to be all evergreen, yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Well,
arbor vitae, which would be evergreen type
Mr. Chairman,
plantings.
the intent of the landscape plan was to keep it green throughout the 12 months so that it provides
Right.
continuous screening regardless of the time of year or weather.
Great.
Okay.
I just have one quick question. The use of the swimming pool and the cabanas, and the new patio, is that all limited to occupants of the facility? Or is there any change in program or use of the site?
I couldn't hear that last part of that, Billy. What was that?
I was wondering if the patio, swimming pool, and cabanas are all to be used by the occupants of the facility. So if you're renting a room there, you can use the facilities, but are they going to be open to any other people besides occupants staying at the facility?
That is my understanding, but I will confirm that for you. I'll confirm that for this board on the use of that.
Okay.
Brian, I also have one question.
Yes.
There's a provision in our code that says no variance shall be granted to permit let's see, I'm going to skip part that doesn't matter. No variance shall be granted to permit the expansion or extension of any outdoor use. And any variance granted to permit the reconstruction or alteration of such lawfully existing outdoor use shall not exceed 100%. Wouldn't the pool fall into that, where it's it's expansion and a non-conforming use?
I don't believe it would, but I can look at that. What section were you referring to?
Yeah, it's just, maybe you want to, or maybe talk to Tom too, maybe.
Yeah, if I can look into that, sure.
Yeah, I don't want you to get too far down the line and then
Yeah.
have an issue here. It's 278-7 C2D3. You want me to repeat it?
I have 278-7 C2D3.
Yeah.
I will look into that and circle back to you and speak to the.
Yeah,
board.
so let's just, it may not apply, but let's just figure that out now.
Yeah,
That was my only concern that came up.
sure.
Do we have any other questions?
My only last question is related to parking. You'd indicated that you're adding a couple of ADA parking spaces. Is there any other reduction or change in the parking lot? As a result of this?
I may not have been sufficiently clear. We're not adding the parking per se. We're taking, if you look at the screen, it's this area of the lot, which I think is used for employee parking, and really rededicating it to put ADA spots there. That's really, it's a matter of painting more than paving.
Oh. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, concerns?
And is the pool gated off so that nobody from the street I didn't see that. Is that a secure area where nobody from Main Street Hunting can?
It'll have to be to meet the pool safety codes. So
It is, I've got a gate here at the cabana, and I'm looking on the other side, and there is a gate before you enter into the restaurant, into the hotel or the restaurant. So it is technically gated against the building.
Okay. If there are no other questions, then this concludes the preliminary review by this board. And now it'll go to the ZBA.
great, thank you very much. And I will circle back on any of the open questions from Beth and Billy. Absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay.
Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your assistance. Pam, are there any other questions or items for today?
No, nothing else.
Okay, thank you all, and may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you all and have a great
Thank you.
day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Care.